Good win for us. Any win's a good win. That was a really good football game. I mean, that was a good football game all around, both sides. Duke a good football team. I do think that we came out, we played fast. And that's what I was looking for after the bye week, coming off the bye week to look fresh. Looked like we were fast again, and that's kind of what we saw in practice during the week. That we had our team speed was better again. We saw that tonight. The defense was flying around, doing a good job. I think they're improving really every week. Doing a good job against the run. Credit to what Tooch is doing and what Jess and Kyle Pope, those guys with the front seven. Got some big stops when they had an explosive kickoff return in the second half. We had some good stops in there. They had some. We were playing behind the sticks field position wise. I think we had 3 or 4 drives that started -10, 3 were in the -9, I think, and 1 or 2 in the -10. We got to do a better job in controlling the vertical field position in the football game, so we don't get in those holes so much and have the long fields to go. But we were moving the football, but with 9 true possessions, and then kneel down at the end of the game, and the 22nd possession before halftime. Getting 4 scores out of 3 touchdowns in the field goal. We got to be a little more productive on those things, but we're getting the long field. So we got to do a little better job with that. But the kids played hard. Thought they played smarter tonight. I really do. Other than before halftime on defense, they had those a couple of chunk plays after the penalty on the punt. We'll take a look at that penalty and see exactly what we need to talk about on Sunday with that one. But other than that, I mean, both teams played really hard. That was a good football game, and really glad to be able to come out on top in that one. And I told the guys in the locker room afterwards that it was enjoy the win, enjoy every win. But then I challenged every person in the room, man to man, that when we come back in tomorrow, right, the first thing we're going to do in the team meeting starts is we're going to make sure every person on this football team knows how to sing "I'm a Ramblin' Rap from Georgia Tech." Right? There's a couple of young guys in there, right, that aren't quite on it, so we're gonna have a lesson in that first, right? But I challenged them all to be just as critical after this game, right, as they were 2 weeks ago, right? And to make sure that we improve in the same regard in the next week, because we have a tough stretch coming up, and we have a 12 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. I believe it's 12 o'clock. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff, so we'll be back to business. But really happy. Happy for the kids, happy for the coaching staff.
Okay, questions? Jackson.
Your team seemed to play a pretty near perfect fourth quarter. What allowed y'all to really rally and score on both those drives and then come up with the necessary stops to seal the game?
Magic potion. they halftime, I challenged the guys that it was going to be a second half game. It was a big field position game. I know that Duke really is taking a lot of pride in taking teams in the fourth quarter and winning games in the fourth quarter. That's what we have to. Okay? Regardless of the outcome of a couple of games this year, I think our guys continue to play throughout, and that's what they did. They kept playing. It was good execution. I do think at the line of scrimmage, I think our guys tended, and I'll look at the tape and see it for sure, but I thought we started to wear them down a little bit. Some of those runs early on, that were 3 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, 6 yards. They started cracking. Jamal had a good game running football, but I thought Chad Alexander, man, he had some really hard physical runs there on some big downs.
You put in a couple wrinkles this week. Having Harrison come in and play as extra offensive lineman, and then also the way you guys use the screen game to seem to maybe loosen up the run a little bit for you. Was that sort of some of the stuff from the self-scouting and the bye week you guys wanted to add in?
Yeah, we got a little too constricted the last few weeks. We've been playing in the phone booth a little bit, so we wanted to make sure that we spread it out, work the field, not just north and south, east and west as well. We've got guys that are explosive with the ball in their hand, and really the biggest challenge of that was Haynes negotiating throw past those defensive ends. They're in race charges up the field, almost the whole game. So that was the challenge, and we felt like Haynes would be able to do that and spit the ball out there. And I thought those guys, we didn't have a lot of long, big passes, but we had some really crucial catches and some crucial situations, I thought.
Brent?
You got 128 yards from Jamal, but how big were the 59 yards from Chad, especially, you know, the runs he had in the fourth quarter?
Knew you were gonna ask a running back question.
That's my position.
Is that what you played? No, it's like I said, I mean, Chad had some really good hard runs. I mean, there's some third down runs in there he had. Brent got behind his pads. And for a smaller back, he's an explosive guy, and I thought he showed it tonight.
Chad?
A couple weeks ago on the radio show, you talked about Jamal and his nagging injury and how he's fought through that. Just how tough has that been on him, I guess, even mentally and emotionally, to have to deal with that week in and week out?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're not performing the way you know you're capable of, it's tough. But you know, look, it's not just Jamal. I mean, I thought we played better as a unit up front tonight, and especially in some of the short yardage situations. We had a couple of wrinkles in there that helped us. But some of those things were added because we were able to have guys at full speed and fully healthy. So. But after the game, I gave Jamal a big hug, and I said, man, really good to see a 100% number 11 out there. And you know, watching practice really from Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the guys that are banged up at practice, they wear a black jersey. And in the practice, I went out and I had equipment guys go grab his jersey out of his locker. And, I took that black jersey off of him for the last period of practice and threw it in the garbage can and gave him his white one back. He must have been like Superman at taking this.
Should have done it earlier in the season.
I don't think that would have been very wise. He's a tough kid. We have some tough kids on our team.
Vandenberg had a big game today, had the sack, 2 tackles for loss. Just speak on his performance here tonight and just his progression here in the defense.
Yeah, he's been playing better and better each week. You know, here in the start tonight, through what he'd done in the last several games, the production he's had, I mean, it's not even close that he's the strongest guy on the football team. I mean, he might be one of the strongest guys in the country. He's a powerful, strong guy, but he also has enough agility and body quickness to be able to be disruptive. Right, so he's improving each week. He's another one that overcame some nagging injuries along the way, and was at full speed tonight. And I think it really helped us in there.
Coach, I want to ask you a little about your rush defense tonight. You held Star Thomas only 52 yards rushing, comes off 66-yard rushing performance against UNC. How are you guys able just to ball him up tonight and kind of contain him?
Well, we made sure tackles. We filled our gaps. We played the blocks well. I can't say enough about Jess Simpson and the job he does coaching technique on the defensive line. He understands the big picture on defense, and he understands the big picture on offense. And he's a great teacher. I mean, for all those years as a head high school coach and a teacher, that shows. And he, those guys they've become very football smart. Okay, so they're understanding how to play different blocks, different schemes. You know, a couple of the ones that squirted through there for bigger gains were ones that really on us. We'll take a look at it and see exactly what we messed up to. So we don't have that, but you know, I've been very proud of the progression the progression of the run defense, and I hope it continues to get better and better because we have a big challenge coming up next week.
Back.
Coach, I think you guys had 3 drives of 10 or more plays. You guys had 7 third down conversions, 3 for 3 on 4th down. These long drives, is that something that you kind of, I mean, how much is that an emphasis to make sure that the drives are long, or is that just how you guys are just kind of taking what kind of comes to you? Where does that kind of come from for you guys? And how do you guys do it so well?
I mean, I'd like to score one play every time. But no, it's complementary football, right? And you know, could we line up and throw the ball every play or play tempo every play? But you know, as a staff, we meet a lot together. Myself, the coordinators, you know, we talk about how to play the game. We talk about you know, how we have to complement each other, and that's what it's about. This is a football team. It's not just the offense, not just the defense, not just the kicking game, special teams, right? We got to play complementary football, right? And You're looking at the time of possession, and look, time of possession is not a stat that is truly indicative always of winning and losing games, right? But if it fits into the style of play that you're playing, it does, and it takes away the amount of time they have the ball. But when you're doing that, you gotta score, right? And at one point when it was 10-7, I mean, we had several long possessions. I think at halftime it was saying it was kind of 2-1 time of possession, but it was a 3-point game. So you got to be efficient in those drives as well. And I think that's, like I said when I opened up, you got to be a little more efficient in some of those things, or on some of those drives, and finishing with points on the board.
Coach, 2 questions for you. Obviously, talk about Tay Seymour and how he's been able to progress, and then second question, I see the addition to your hat. Just kind of talk about that as well.
Yeah, Tay's earned what he's, the spot that he's in. I mean, there was a string in there when he had, pass play, tackle for loss. I mean, he was all over the field. And the big thing we talked about this week was playing fast. We talked about playing fast, and playing fast not being, hey, Eric is fast. We all know that, right? The kickoff, and he was, but there's being fast and there's playing fast, right? You play fast when the game starts to slow down, right? When you start to really know what to do, know what the offense is doing, anticipate things are going to happen, right? Now you're a step ahead, 2 steps ahead. So I think that's what he's doing. And the more he's playing, the more experience he's getting, the better he's becoming. And then, I think everyone knows that. What I have on? One of the greatest players to play here, Billy Shaw, and that's what it was. It was just for him. Passed away yesterday, and NFL Hall of Famer, unbelievable career here, unbelievable career in the National Football League. I believe to this day he's still the only person that's ever that's in the NFL Hall of Fame that never played actually in the NFL, and he was in the AFL, Buffalo Bills, the whole time. Just someone that is at 83, 84, and obviously passed away at 85, became a good friend. Just someone that, even as he got, later on, and he would send text messages, or we couldn't talk on the phone, and just a good man, and he's a tech man, and he did a lot here, did a lot for this place, and anytime somebody stands up at Canton and says that they went to the greatest university in the world, right, they love this place.
Okay, time for just a couple more. All right.
Yep. Going into the fourth quarter, Tech, they last scored in the 10-minute mark in the second quarter. What do you think led to that turnaround? For
Magic. No, it was. We really started playing the field position battle. We had, like I said, we had two that were in the -9 in the first half, one in the -10, and also boom, -9 again. We were able to punch it out of there, get the ball, flip the field. We got 2 big stops, big stop on defense after they, went the length, and we got they missed the field goal. So we were able to, gain some advantage in the field position. But then, like I said, I think we started to wear them down a little bit, which is a credit. When you see that happen, you start to run the ball a little better, and as the game goes on, and protect better, and stop the run, and close coverage more and more. Really, that's a credit to what these guys do from January. Those are things that are built in the weight room from January, February, March. Not just in the last week of practice or whatnot.
Okay, Connor, if you want to wrap us up, please.